South Africa is a movie. We live in a drama. It's a series.
Hi there. Hello there. How are you doing today? How are you doing today? You're doing awesome. You're doing amazing. I was thinking, and I was not quite sure what to do in today's video. And so, if you have any video suggestions, write them down here in the comment section. Write your ideas in the comment section. Okay, great, wonderful, perfect, great, wonderful, perfect. But today I want to go back to one of your faves. Wait for the car. I definitely need to go back to the other side where the sound of cars is not as concentrated, and put up the background, and film in my bedroom and put up the background. It's just that it takes so long, but anyway, feel the sound of the waves as they move. The cars sound like waves at the beach. We're like if you know what I mean. So yeah, but where was I before we get started? Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, join. Super thanks. To become an exclusive member of the channel, click the join button. Thank you to everybody who has, and thank you for watching today's video. I always forget to say that, so yeah. Now I know why you're here, right? You want me to spill the beans? You want me to tell you my secret? Don't worry, I got you. I got you! Exclamation point. I got you, don't worry at all. So, as I was saying, wanna tell you a secret? Can I tell you a secret? Can I tell you a secret? It's a big, juicy secret. It's a big one. It's a big, juicy secret. Do you wanna hear it? Do you wanna hear my big, juicy secret? Okay. You will see what I mean. You will see what I mean. So, one time, it was about to be holidays. I'm not sure if it was last year or last of last year, but recently, last year or last of last year, about last year or last of last year, I wanted to go home. For Christmas, right? And the most convenient form of transport to go home for me is by a bus. Overnight bus. Sleep line. I just sleep in the bus, and then when you wake up in the morning, you're home. When you wake up in the morning, you're home. So yeah. About last year or last of last year, I was about to go home for a December holidays. Home for Christmas, yes. So the most convenient form of transport is a bus. So I had gone to go buy a bus ticket. For a slip liner. Get in the bus. You sleep, and then drive off around night time. By the time you wake up in the morning, you have arrived. So I was excited to be going home for Christmas. I bought my bus ticket. I go to the shop to get a bus ticket. I get them like one ticket for this bus, but slip liner. And then they say, okay, go. And then they check in. Type into the computer. Computer to check for a bus I could use. And then the lady says, I'm so sorry. The bus is fully booked. And I was like, man, that sucks. And then I said, how about this bus? I mentioned the other bus that I'm used to. And then the lady was like, so sorry. That one is fully booked as well. I said to myself, no, I cannot be not at home around Christmas. I need to be home at Christmas. That was going through my mind. I'm like, am I not going to be home for Christmas? What will I be doing for Christmas if I'm not at home? So, Don't tell anyone this. Don't tell anyone, but secrets. I trust you with my secrets. So I asked the lady which buses are still available. Which buses are still available? She said there's only just one single bus that's still available. I was like, in my mind I'm like, I'm still going home, baby. I'm still going home for Christmas, baby. Yes. So, I was like, I have to take it because I want to be home for Christmas. And I asked, what bus is it? She mentions the name of the bus. I'm not gonna name the brand of the bus, but if you're South African, it's a red bus. There's only one bus in South Africa that's has like a completely red bus. And I was like, that's the bus everybody complains about. Everybody has a horror story when it comes to that bus. I was like, I mean, I'm definitely not gonna have a horror story. It's not like maybe those horror stories might repeat themselves. I mean, let me give this bus a chance. That red bus. If you're a bus person and you're South African, I'm sure you know the bus I'm talking about. I was like, that sounds great. Can I please get one ticket for that bus? I was like, I got home and then I prayed. I was like, oh my goodness. And then I got the ticket and then I called my family and I said, I got the ticket. I'm super excited about it. I got the ticket. I'm super excited about it. Got the ticket. I'm excited. I didn't mention the name of the bus or anything like that. I just said I got the ticket. My family was like, yay, that's awesome. That's wonderful. We can't wait to see you for Christmas. And then it was another day for me to go back home, like to go to the bus station, right? The bus was about to leave at 3 o'clock. The bus was supposed to leave at 3 o'clock. So around 1 o'clock, I'm like just getting my things ready so that I could be early at the bus station. 1 o'clock, I'm getting my things ready to go. And then I receive a text message, an SMS on my phone. And then like ding, 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 ding. I read the text message. It is coming from the bus company. And it says, we apologize for the inconvenience, but the bus won't make it. The bus will not make it at 3 o'clock. Ibhasi ayizolenza ixesha ngentsimbi yesithathu. Kodwa ke isakufika. It will arrive at 7:30 p.m. And I was like, imagine if I'd already gone. I'd be sitting there up until 7 o'clock. That's crazy. But yeah, anyway, I relax, just watch something. After that, 7 o'clock, finally, like, it's almost 7, so it's 6. At 6, I leave to go to the bus station. And then I leave to go to the bus station. I leave ready for checking in. But I see a lot of people waiting as well. I join them and ask them, hi, is this the bus to here and there and there and there? They're like, yeah, we're also waiting for the bus. We've been here since 3 p.m. because we thought the bus was going to be here at 3, and we got the SMSs by the time we were already on the road, and we couldn't turn back, so we're already here now. So we've been here since 3. We're still waiting for the bus. There's no sign of the bus, the red bus. It's not here yet. So 7 o'clock gets by, no sign of the bus. 7:30, when we're supposed to be leaving, no sign of the bus. There's not a lot of people though. We are about like 15 or something like that. Usually the bus comes from somewhere already carrying a couple of people to come to us and then get us as well, and then it continues. That's how it normally is, so it's not a red flag. And then people now at 7:30 at night, and people start like talking and getting angry that they should have known about it, because at 3 o'clock there were people who came in and asked if they were the ones for the red bus, and they kept on taking people from the red bus and putting them into different buses all along. So maybe there's a bus that's coming that's gonna take us as well, a different bus, and then we're gonna be put in that bus. And I was like, oh my goodness, it's now 7:30, it's to 8 o'clock, and I was like, usually buses do get late from time to time. Now when it is 8 o'clock, there was a guy who was sitting there on the corner, listening to all of us as we're talking, but he's like super quiet, looking at everybody. And around 8 o'clock he stands up and then he says, hi guys, I know you all going with the red bus. Unfortunately, the red bus is not going to make it tonight. So what we did is organize a taxi for you. The taxi will be here at 9. And I was like, oh my goodness, what did I get myself into? As I'm waiting, there's a lot of people being angry. Yelling at a guy saying, you already knew this, and you let us sit here since 3 o'clock, and you were sitting with us, and then you kept on asking people who are using the red bus, and you kept putting them in different buses. You knew it, hence you did this from 3 o'clock. Why didn't you let us know? Why? I just came in, so I didn't know any of these things. So I'm like sitting there looking as the drama is unfolding. I'm calling my family like, what's the commotion? What's it about? If you left yet? And I'm like, we're gonna be put in a taxi. And they named the name of the taxi, but unfortunately I do not know. But it's the name of that taxi. And everybody was like, knows a lot about cars. If I can remember it, and then I'll put a picture of it somewhere here. Otherwise, it looks like a quantum, but before a quantum was invented, and it's super uncomfortable. So we go in, and then there's a passage. There are two or three seats the side, and then a passage, and then one seat the side in each row. So I choose the side next to the window, and with one person to sit in, I quickly jump in because I'm not carrying a lot of luggage, right? I'm not carrying a lot of luggage. I just have a tiny suitcase and my backpack. So people were just going into the trailer. He had a trailer to put in their suitcases. So what I did, I jumped into the car, and then I put in my laptop bag or my backpack in that seat, and then I quickly went out to load my suitcase at the back. To load my suitcase at the back, and then immediately after that, people kept on coming, getting in as we're loading our suitcases at the back. And then I already had my backpack on the seat, right? So after I was done putting my suitcase, I go to my seat, take a seat, and then one person does not have a seat. The taxi is full, and then the one person does not have a seat. The taxi driver reaches out underneath one of the chairs and pulls out a 20-liter bucket, and puts it in the passage and says, "Here's your seat. Sit here. Here's a seat. Sit here." It was like a guy, and I think he was in his 30s or something like that. And then he sat on it, and then we were traveling with like middle-aged ladies, and they were like, "How dare you do that? How dare you do that? Make him sit on a bucket, yet he paid full price for this trip. This is so unethical. This is unaccepted, blah blah blah." The guy who's sitting on a bucket is just like quiet and sitting on a bucket, and is like, we want refund. That's what the ladies are saying, and I'm like, I would really love my refund right now. And then everybody was saying like, give us our money back so that we can go home. And I'm like, in my mind, once that happens, I'm taking my money and I'm leaving. I'm going back home because this is scary. The guy's like, nobody's getting refund here. You will have to sit here. And then as I'm sitting on my chair, you do know the back of a buggy. If you've been to a back of a buggy, if you sat in a back of a buggy, you will know what I'm talking about. My dad used to have a buggy, and would always sit at the back of the buggy when going to the beach, and we always wanted to sit in those ramps, on the ramps. Those ramps that are curved where the tires go in. Those curved on the sides where the tires go in. We'd want to sit on those things. So where I put my backpack, I told you, right? I just immediately put my backpack, and then I went to go stand in the queue for my suitcase. I just put my backpack and I went to go put my suitcase. So in the chair where I put my backpack, as I was sitting, there's a chair, and then right where I'm supposed to be putting my feet, where it's supposed to be level, and then I put in my feet, is a ramp that looks like that ramp from buggies. So one foot is on top of the ramp and the other one is on the floor. I'm sitting like that, or I switch like this, and then my back is against the window, and then my feet are both on the passage. Those were the two options. So I had to in those two positions. I would sit like this with my back against the window, like, and then or one fit here and the other fit there. So it was two options that I had. It was so uncomfortable. Eventually I slept in that position, and with one foot up and one foot down. I can't even keep them straight because immediately there's another chair in front of me. So thankfully I was able to sleep eventually. At around 3 a.m. I was able to sleep. 3 a.m. I was able to sleep. It was super uncomfortable. And when I wake up, the bus was supposed to be arriving at 9 a.m. to where we're going, right? And my family was supposed to be like fetching me from there in the morning at 9 a.m. So now it's 6 a.m. 9 a.m. yeah. And now it's 6 a.m. My family's supposed to be searching at me at 9 in the morning. Now it's 6 a.m. in the morning. I wake up. Everybody, like a couple of people, are outside. Let me tell you this. I am a heavy sleeper. Everybody who knows me knows that I'm a heavy sleeper. Once I'm out, I'm out. So when I wake up, a couple of people are just sitting next to the side of the road, just like chilling on the side of the road, and other people are sitting on their car, and everybody's having a blast. And I'm like, are we taking a break? Just a random break. Usually breaks, you take them at the garage or petrol station. So why are we not in a petrol station? Why are we not in a garage? Why are we just sitting in a ditch in the middle of nowhere? And I wake up. I started checking my phone. The network was there. When the cars are passing by, and then we sit there, and then an hour passes by, we're still sitting there. And I'm like, when is this? And I go ask the other people, like, when is this break going to be over? We've been sitting here for over an hour. They're like, what break are you talking about? I'm like, why are we stopping here? Like, what's going on? They're like, girl, you must really be a heavy sleeper. We're not here because of fun. We're sitting here in this ditch because the taxi, the tire, one of the screws on the tire came out, so we can't drive. So the taxi driver went to the nearest town from here to get a screw to put in that tire. So we're waiting for him to come back. I was like, oh. And then it was 6 a.m., right? And then I asked her about 7 a.m. The reason why I asked is because everybody was like having the time of their lives. There was a girl who was going back home for Umgidi. I did make a video about Umgidi, so if you want to understand what it is, you can check out this video. So there was a girl going home from Umgidi, and she bought a lot of like alcohol for Umgidi. She bought a lot of alcohol, like brandy or something like that. So the people were drinking that side, and then there was a lady with a baby who was constantly crying. So she was like attending to a baby. I didn't want to be like rude person, like, why are we still here? I thought maybe they needed a break because we're all sitting uncomfortably here, so maybe it would make sense for the break to be longer so that people can stretch out. But now it's been an hour, hence I asked. And then I'm like, it was 6 a.m. now it's 7, and the sun is starting to become more concentrated. The sun is becoming more concentrated. It's like scorching hot December time. And so the taxi driver is nowhere to be found. I call my family and I tell them what is happening, and then they're like, oh my goodness. And then, okay, cool, keep us posted. That's what they say. And guys, don't bother going to the bus station as for now because we're still here. The taxi driver is not here yet. And then my mom is like, where are you? And I'm like, I have no idea. We're in the ditch in the middle of nowhere. The last time I checked the board, we were here and we were there. And then I asked the people that I'm in this taxi with, like, where are we, guys? Nobody has any idea of where we are. And I'm like, oh my god, why did I have to sleep? Because I normally keep checking the board. I'm like, wait, why did I have to sleep? Anyway, we have no idea where we are. And then my mom was like, what's the contact details of the taxi driver? What's the contact details of the taxi driver? And nobody knows. Nobody bothered to take his contact details. They just let him go. Oh, now I'm starting to panic. Like, what if this is all planned out? What if we're in the middle of nowhere and it's all planned out? I'm like, oh, just like, I'm praying. I'm like, my mom and my dad were like, give us the number plate. What is the number plate of the car that you're in? Give us the number plate. I'm like giving them the number plate and all that. My father used to be a soldier and he was once a captain of all the soldiers. At some point, he has a couple of friends in law enforcement and stuff like that. And then everybody's panicking and starting to call, people. Like, she's in a taxi like this and she was supposed to be taking a bus. They're in a ditch in the middle of nowhere. Like, what's going on? Blah, 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 whatnot. My mom is like, what's going on with this car? The car that we were in, it was written so-and-so cars, like hire, how to hire this taxi. If you want to hire this taxi, these are the contact details, right? Like, it had like, so I took that phone number. I gave them to my mom and my dad so that they could contact it and something like that, because we're calling it and nobody's picking up. And then they called. When they called, someone did pick up, and then it's a name of, like, it was, let's say my last name is Siviwe, and then it says Siviwe Car Services, blah blah blah. So I told them it's written so and so Car Services, which is a last name, a famous last name in South Africa. So they call that number, and they say, are we speaking to so and so? And then the person's like, yeah, I'm so and so. And then my parents are like, well, this is the situation, and they're in the middle of nowhere. The taxi driver just left and nobody has the taxi driver's contact details, and blah 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 blah. And time passes by. It's now 11. We were there from 6 o'clock. It's now 11 o'clock to 12. The sun is scorching hot. The only drink I have, I already finished it because it was like super hot. And there was a lady who had a 2-liter bottle of water. Everybody kept drinking that 2-liter bottle. It's now finished. And the lady who had a small tiny baby, the baby is crying like nobody's business. She had what do you call that thing, a flask. She had a flask filled with the water for the baby. She knew that by 9 o'clock she would already made it. So now it's 12 to 1. The flask is already like finished. The baby is hungry. The baby is crying like nobody's business. We are all like panicking. People are opening the bonnet of the car to see if there's any kind of information we can use from this taxi driver, and like we're all panicking. And people took the 2-liter bottle that we drank the water out of, and then stopping cars that are driving past us, trying to stop cars and beg like for water. And then there were cars that stopped for the water, and then the mother with the baby was able to use that water to make her baby milk once again to drink. And the thing is, now everybody's like, the other old ladies are like, oh my goodness, the baby is going to have a tummy ache because the water order. And then as we're still waiting, it's now past 1 to 2 now. My parents did get the guy who owns the taxi. My parents did get a hold of them, and then after that, the owner said they will call the taxi driver. And then they went back to my parents and said, my parents told me like, hey, the taxi driver said they could not get the bolt, whatever, the screw in that other town, so they had to travel to the next town. That's why they're running late, because that other small town is too small, so they don't have like those kind of car parts in that town. So he went to the other town, so he should be already there by now. He gets here at around like 2 or something. He gets there, and then he comes with a mechanic or something like that, and then they tried putting the screws in the tires. I'm not sure if the screws were too small or something, but it was so difficult to get them in. And then finally they got them in. They put them in there, and then the mechanic left, and then we got into the car around past 2 now, and we started driving again. And after we started driving again, my parents themselves were like, we are coming to get you, we will be there. And I'm like, that is not necessary. It will be a waste of petrol and time, since you already know that the guy is coming with the bolt and all that. That won't be necessary, because I'm in a different province. You're in the Eastern Cape. By the time you get here, it will be like late, so it doesn't make sense for you to come get me, because by the time you get here, it will already be late. So you just be driving with us, don't worry, he'll be here. And then he gets here at 2 o'clock, and then my parents and family are like, yay, finally. We get into the car, we start driving. We start driving again. As we start driving again, the tires, the screws, they fly out of the car tire again at around past 4 to 5. They fly out of the car. We like, the guy who's sitting in the back seat, who sees this, like, taxi driver, stop. The tires just popped out of the car. The screws just popped out of the car. Stop. We stop again. 2-5. In the middle of nowhere. Okay, now it's 5 to 5 or something like that. We are busy looking for the screws with a lot of grass, and then I was like, oh my goodness, I wish I told my parents to come fetch me. I wish I told my parents to come get me, because Queenstown, this is crazy. This is what is happening. And then now in the middle of nowhere, and no screws, no nothing. We can't do anything. The taxi driver once again leaves us, and everybody now took his phone number, and then he wanted to go again get somebody or something. And then he comes back. We're like excited, but he comes back by himself, driving like as a passenger on another taxi. Other taxi drivers keep stopping and asking, are you guys okay? Is everything fine? I can take you with my taxi. But this other taxi driver is like, no, they are with me. You're not gonna take them. They are with me. You're not gonna take them. At this time, I don't know, because we're still in another province, not in the Eastern Cape. So what's going on? We should have been home at 9 a.m. Now it's 9 p.m. The taxi driver had left and come back, and we all thought, oh, everybody just was like, okay, cool, let us all go to sleep. All of a sudden, a random private car, a four-seater, stops right behind us, and then two guys just come out and then start looking at them. We're in the middle of nowhere. We start calling the cops because we're like, what is this? Is this some kind of like a sacrifice where people are being sold or something like that? Are we going to be sold? What's going on? This does not make any sense. So, like, are we going to be sold? Are they planning on selling us? Like, what's going on? Because we're in the middle of nowhere in a ditch somewhere. After that, what if this is all planned and they want to sell us? Because we should have been in a bus filled with a lot of people. What is going on? So we call the cops, and the number of cops in South Africa is 10,111. 10,111. It does not matter which province you are in or what you call 10,111. Just like in American movies, like emergency number that you call is 911. In South Africa, 10,111, but it's for cops, the police. Okay. So we call 10,111, and then we're saying that we're in the middle of nowhere between here and here. We were supposed to be in a bus, a red bus, but it didn't come us to pick us up, and now we are in a taxi called this and this and this and that. This is the contact details of the taxi, blah 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 blah. And then she asked, where are you guys now? We're like in a ditch in the middle of nowhere between this town and this town. And then the lady says, from the police, I can say this, I'm highly disappointed in South African police. I am saying it, I'm a Karen right now. The lady says, oh, so if you are between this and this, that means you closer to this place, so you should be calling the police station in this place and not us. We were like, what? The number of the police is 10,111, so how do we call that other police station? It's like, I'm so sorry, but you should be calling the what police. We're like, we don't know the number for what police. We know 10,111. Could you please help us or refer it to us? That did not help at all. That did not help at all. And we're like, what is going on? We're like, what is going on? I found that odd. Someone is calling in distress and you're telling me you are calling the wrong police station. Call this police station. What? The number is 10,111. What other 10,111 do you call to call the other one? And can you help? It was crazy. But anyway, they did not help at all. And then that call didn't go well. And then after that, we was just like sitting there. And then the car, like a private car, a four-seater, comes in and then just stops behind us. And then they started looking at the car. We were like, this is it. This is the end. This is it. No, this can't be it. This cannot be the end. No. This can't be the end. And then the guys go straight to the tire that's missing. And everybody in the taxi is like, these guys are either going to rob us or they are going to steal the car parts. They're going to steal the car parts. And everybody said the reason why the taxi driver didn't want us to go into another taxi is because they could use us as some kind of protection. So because if he's left alone with the taxi and people come steal the car taxi parts, it would be easier for them to do that. But if there's a lot of people, he's more protected in a way. So that's why he didn't want us to leave him and get into a different taxi, because they could have negotiated something with a different taxi driver. But now the people go straight to the tire, and then the lady is sitting in front are waking up the taxi driver. Taxi driver, wake up, there are people like all over the car. Wake up, taxi driver. The taxi driver not waking up at all. keep shaking him. He's not waking up at all, and you can tell that he hears what's going on. You know, like people are shaking him. The ladies in front are shaking him, and then he's just like, and then goes to the other side, goes to the other side. You can hear him like groaning. So we're like super scared, and then we're like, what's we gonna do? And then the guys started taking out parts, and then removed the car tire, and all the men sitting with us are looking outside. The ladies are looking outside. Nobody wants to go outside. Everybody's now quiet. The taxi driver pretending to sleep or fast asleep, we don't know. So the other guys, and then they after taking out that tire, they put in a new tire, and then everyone's like heart started, oh, maybe these are the people who came here to help us, you know, because they're now putting in a new tire, a fresh tire. Then they put in a new tire, and they start screwing it. Once they start putting in the new tire, one of the guys starts opening the door to go talk to them, like, hey guys, what's up, what's going on? They're like, yeah, we're cool, bruh. And then he was like, why didn't you wake us up, and blah blah blah. And then they just like keep on doing what they're doing. And then this other guy's like, we are stranded in the middle of nowhere, we have nothing going on. We were super worried that you're gonna come in and R us all. And I'm like, why is this guy even like saying this to these guys? And you didn't say anything back then. Now that they're putting in their right car, you're like, oh, we thought you're gonna R us all. You're gonna R us all. Like, dude, please. I'm thinking that in my mind. So and then after that, the car is fixed, and the car is fixed. Now that the car is fixed, the taxi driver randomly, mysteriously opens the car, like, what do you call it, like wakes up. He randomly wakes up, and then we start driving again, and this guy who opened the door was like, oh my gosh, I hope this does not happen again. I'm so scared of getting R. Men also do get R'd. He was just like talking about getting R'd the entire time, and I'm like, it's 3 a.m. with the random strangers in the car, and we don't have any direction. Like, dude, why are you being obsessed with being R'd? Just stop being ew. Anyway, once again, I'm saying that in my mind. It's like, you're creeping us out. Nobody's talking. Nobody's answering him. Everybody's like quiet, and others are sleeping. The taxi driver is driving, and others are awake because I can't sleep anymore because I slept and we're in the middle of nowhere. I'm too scared to sleep because I trust nobody. And now he's busy like, oh, getting art. I'm like, whatever. And then we get to the Eastern Cape. We get to Queenstown. We're now in Queenstown, right? And then we stop at the garage. As we're stopping in the garage, we see a big bus, because we're in a taxi that fits 15 passengers. Now we are in a garage, and then we stop by, and then we see a big bus with the same name as the taxi we're in. And then the taxi driver says, you guys need to go get inside that bus. We take our luggage, we put it in, and then we go sit in the bus. And then another guy comes to talk to the taxi driver, and he says, why are they sitting in this bus? Like, because the taxi is having problems, and I was told to leave it here. So what should I do? Because they are not from here. They need to continue going after Queenstown. And then he was like, I was supposed to be driving this bus to the big city in the next province. We can't do that. So you need to get them out. And then the taxi driver is calling the taxi owner outside, and I'm super thirsty. I take my backpack. I leave my coat inside the taxi. Shh. I'm super thirsty. We're in a garage. So I take my backpack and I leave my coat inside. I take my backpack and my phone. I'm like, hey, could you please look after my coat? I'm quickly going to go to the garage and buy something to drink and food. I'm hungry, I'm thirsty, everything. I go inside the garage, I get out. When I'm getting out, I get to the bus. There's no one on the bus. And I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. What is happening? You can't make this up. I'm like, what is happening, Lord? Why is this happening? I don't understand what's going on, because it's 12 midnight. I should have been home by now. What's going on? So now I'm asking the taxi driver, excuse me, where did everybody go? The taxi driver is having his own frustrations and his own stress. He's not replying back to me, and I'm like, what's going on? And I'm like, I can't be here alone, what's going on? And then there's this sweet lady who was passing by, and he was asking, are you asking about the people who are inside this bus? And I was like, yeah, where did everybody go? And then she said, I saw them walking that side. And then I saw them walking that side, making a lot of noise, walking that side. Are those them? I see them in front of a bus called Tutula, in front of the bus, queuing in front of a bus called Tutula. And I'm like, can I please get my coat? And then he opens the bus door, and I quickly grab my coat. And then I'm like, where's my suitcase? My suitcase is there, standing by itself. The lady's like, is that your suitcase? My suitcase, I guess the taxi driver took out all the suitcases, and mine was just left alone there. And then the lady's like, is that your suitcase? And I'm like, oh my gosh, it is, thank you so much. And she's like, what's going on here? And it's like, it's a long story, and thank you for your help, but we're supposed to be in a bus. It didn't come. We were fetched by this taxi, and then we were transported to this, and now we're in the middle of nowhere. We're supposed to be at home around 9 a.m. yesterday. Now it's the following day at 12 a.m. She's like, oh my gosh, quickly go rush to where they are. You can't be all by yourself. And then she went inside the garage. I took my suitcase, and I'm running with my coat, and I'm running with my bag to follow up those guys we were with, who were standing in front of that Tutula. And they are standing in a queue that side, and the other ones are standing in a queue that side. I'm like, what's going on, guys? And I'm standing in a queue with this other lady who's around the same age as me. It's like, what's going on? She's like, you said you're going there, right? The name of the place that I'm going to, my town. And I'm like, yes, I'm going there. She's like, you go stand in the queue that side. We asked if we could squat in this Tutula bus because it's going there. So they said people go to your town should go that side, and people go to this town should go to the side. Go put your bags that side. I was like, okay, cool, thank you. And then I take my bag. I take my suitcase to stand in the other side. It can no longer fit because there are already people inside my suitcase. It can no longer fit. There's not enough space anymore. And then now I am carrying my suitcase with 4 wheels. In between my thighs, we all standing in a corridor. In between my thighs, I'm carrying my suitcase with 4 wheels. And then I'm supposed to be carrying my backpack, right? And now holding it in front of me. Backpack in front of me. And I have my coat. I am scorching hot inside the Tutula bus. It's so hot, and I was running to catch this Tutula bus. It's so hot. I'm so hot. I'd have my coat my shoulder. I'm like sweating. I haven't showered in forever because we've been like in the middle of nowhere. And the people sitting in this bus are saying, you guys look like you've been through hell. What happened? What's going on? I'm like, breathing heavily. And the other people that were with started telling the story, and everybody sitting in this Tutula bus going back home is like, wow, that sounds crazy. You guys have been really through hell. That's unbelievable. And then I stood from Queenstown to my place where I was supposed to be fetched by my parents, standing with my suitcase in between me, and the bus like goes like this, and then you have to like squat and hold on. It was crazy. And then people started getting off as we were about to approach the town. People started getting off, and then I was able to take a seat. When someone got off, I was able to take a seat and catch my breath. My family has been sleeping in the garage since the last night, in the bus station, since the last night, because they're supposed to be fetching me. They're sitting there for me, waiting. My entire family is sitting there waiting for me, checking on me. Where are you now? Where are you now? What's going on? Where are you now? My parents are panicking. It is crazy. And then I finally made it to town, and when we're about to enter town, I told my parents, right, the bus will be arriving at the bus station, but now this new bus does not go to the train station. It goes to I can't name the place, you'll know where it is, and then it goes to a different place. And I tell my parents, like, yeah, you're in this bus station, drive to this place. My parents and family drive to that other place, and I arrived. I was like, thank you, Jesus. Never in my life am I ever going to use the red bus ever again. Never. I do not kill this one. Never in my life. What? And we have finally arrived in this Tutula bus. It has a lion outside. The bus is a lion outside. And when I was supposed to be going home, I was supposed to go in the red bus, transferring to the taxi, and then to the same taxi but in a bus form that didn't even go anywhere. And now I'm arriving home in a Tutula bus with a lion. It was hectic. I finally get there. I take my belongings. I get off the bus. My thighs are burning hot from all the squatting and dancing that was going on as the bus was moving. But I was so grateful to the Tutula that took us. Otherwise, we would have been left in Queenstown with nowhere to go. And after that, we got home. We got to the town that I was in. Then my family's like so excited, like screaming, like, you finally made it. We were so worried about you. They start hugging me. We drive back home. I slept the entire day. We all slept. My family was also like sleeping. And then the following day, we started preparing for Christmas. And then we enjoyed Christmas together. When I was going home, when I was coming back from Christmas, it was like an amazing Christmas. Like, yes, it feels good to be reunited. And I had to get a bus to leave home again and come this side. And then as I was doing that, the lady who was selling the bus tickets was like, hey girl, which bus do you want? I said, I want this bus, which is the bus I'm used to, the sleep liner where you sleep and then you wake up in the morning. And then she's like, okay, great, but if you want, we can get you this bus. She mentions the red bus. It's at a discount. You're going to be getting like 70% off. You're not getting 70% off. I would suggest you get to the red bus. that they've had a great experience from that bus. And now I was amongst those people who did not have a great experience with that bus. I would never recommend it to anybody. And funny enough, I've never seen it anymore after that. People were furious with that bus. People were fed up with it. And now I think it's out of service or it's out of business. They were totally unethical. They were totally disrespectful and putting people's lives on the line for what? A couple of bucks? That was uncalled for. And you shouldn't celebrate other people's downfall or anything like that. But one thing I will say about them is that I'm totally disappointed in them and what they did to us. Nobody deserves to go through that. What if something happened to us? What about the baby who did not have the formula? If there was no people who still believed in the spirit of Ubuntu, if it was not for those people, and we don't know what happened to the baby after that. What if the baby had a stomach ache and something? No, man, people shouldn't do that to other people. And my word of advice, if that bread bus is still in business, do not use it. I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. I'd rather say that better to sacrifice those couple of bucks for your life to be safe. I would have, if I knew that would have something that happened, I don't think I'd have taken it. I would have opted out for different options for me to go home for Christmas. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, that was my secret. Shh, don't tell anybody. But spread the word that people should be careful when it comes to that red bus. People should be careful when it comes to that red bus. If you're South African and you know it, please tell me about it. And if you're South African and you normally drive with buses and you've heard about the story of the red bus, like horror stories, let me know the horror stories of